Hey guys, welcome back to our review for HBO Max's and DC's Peacemaker. Series has been going really awesome from James Gunn and John Cena. So, jumping right back in, we're going into episode 7, which was titled
Stop dragging me.
Stop dragging me around. Yes, stop dragging me around, which obviously refers to his father. We get honestly, we get quite a few. And also Melissa, who joined us in the last episode. I got her opinions. I watched it with her. The boys just finished watching it now. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So, I'm gonna be honest. This episode was a little, at first. I think it's probably because I was in a bad mood from Dying Light 2. I just got done with Dying Light 2's ending, and I was just kind of in a bad mood when I was watching the episode.
It left a bad taste
in my mouth, and I just felt as I was watching this that something was off. It didn't hit with me the same way, but I think it was it just didn't really live up to the expectations I had built up for certain moments that are revealed in this. At first. And I think that's mostly because I thought the fight with the dad would be a little different, maybe.
Well, this episode wasn't directed by James Gunn, and I think it's pretty apparent that this doesn't have the finesse.
I'm starting to see some cracks, but by that I mean I still really enjoy the episode. I'm just saying. I just think that it felt too rushed, and that was what Melissa wanted to say. Is that it felt really rushed. It was only 35 minutes to resolve a certain amount of these things, and these things are happening, boom, one right after the other. A few poor writing choices that kind of takes you out of the moment. But ultimately, we liked the episode and we had a good time. And by the end, it won me over yet again, showing you the strength of these characters, showing you the jokes are hitting and all these things are hitting. But I just thought that it was kind of a slower start, and I'm starting to see some cracks and some rushing here and there. And I just wish they could take their time a little bit more. What did you guys think?
This is becoming one of my favorite shows to watch. I look forward to watching this every Thursday. That's why I reminded you. I was like, are we going to watch it? We got to watch it.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, John Cena has really upped his game. His acting chops has really improved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I was
his
like,
character,
Joe, when he's got a scene. Well, we'll talk about it in just one moment. But I was like, man, Joe, you remember The Marine? I think it was like his first film. John has really come a long way.
Big time, yeah. Like you could really see like his improvement. But this scene it really touched on a lot of things, his father issues and stuff like that, and the betrayal. And I think it was pretty well done. But I do see how it felt rushed. It should have fleshed out a little bit more, but they didn't really take the full hour to do whatever they wanted.
An hour,
I know.
It's 37 minutes with credits.
This got to be one of the shortest ones then, huh?
And it needed to be one of the longer ones.
Yeah.
This is the penultimate episode, by the way. There was one more.
It's still good, though. I loved it.
Same here.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just didn't think it had the we're kind of spoiled with this series because this series has been super solid all the way through. The episodes typically flow really, really well. This one, each individual scene didn't flow into the other, so we'd get going and then we'd stop and we'd lose all of our momentum, move to another scene, and it would just constantly kind of do that where you're starting, stopping, and then we do get some interesting action sequences that I think were totally wasted. I think a lot more could have been done. Humor, I think, is just always on point, but I think that's James Gunn with the pen being able to do that. And I don't know whose fault if we're like, this is the director, this is the writer, but something felt off. I did enjoy it.
So you felt like I felt. Something was a little off to me.
Oh, it is. I don't think
it had to have been the direction.
Yeah, I don't think it was handled as well as some of the other ones. But I'm hoping it's just the slump of the second to last episode when we get to the final and they really nail it. Hopefully James Gunn's directing the finale, and then we can get back to.
There's one more episode.
So there's one more episode. Yeah. So this was written by James Gunn. So that's where, and then directed by Brad Anderson. James Gunn directed he's directed multiple episodes, but this particular one, not there.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of the quick edits. It might have been
Brad Anderson's style. So let's go ahead and give final verdicts on this particular episode, so we could jump into the final verdicts.
For me, it was an 8. It's still good, above anything we've seen so far.
Yeah.
This is still a great show.
Sure
Recommend you guys watch it. This is a good episode. And you really see John Cena perform his heart out right here.
Yeah.
and I want to see more of a judo master.
I'm thinking I have a different opinion on that one.
No?
I feel like they're forcing Judo Master into this.
That's
like,
why he
to
kind of felt
eventually
injected, but like
be
do
a
something.
part of the team.
But
it's
you
like
have
it's
one
like a
episode
dead plot
left.
end. It's like a dead end plot thing. It's like fucking talk to them. Are you a butterfly
Exactly.
yourself, or what's going
like,
on?
I
It
want
just
him
feels
to-
like a hanging thread.
Yeah, I wanted to be
that they
more of a
keep injecting.
character. He's just there. It's like, all right, let's put him in just for comedy relief. It's like, all right, let's just have a fight scene just because.
Right.
It's like there's
That's why I
there's
felt
more
a little
to him
disjointed
to
around.
that. They gotta do something because there's only one more episode left. What are they
Sure.
gonna do? Just
Hopefully, have an hour long to kind of resolve everything. I think this is a good episode. And then for us, like a 7 is good. And so I think that this is a little bit better than above average because I think that everything in the show has been above for some of the streaming shows we've watched recently. Like this one definitely feels certainly above average. So I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's good. I think it's solid. I think that my issues are they didn't. It takes almost like a master, right, to balance James Gunn's humor with serious tone, and it's not for everybody. He does it really, really well. We watch a lot of people try to imitate him, and it doesn't work. And I don't think it works here. I think that the comedy writing was really, really good, and then we get into scenes where we're trying to care about team members with like serious drama and betrayal, and it just didn't click together. It didn't work the way that I thought that I've seen before in the series. So, still definitely recommend it. But
I agree. Character kind of dies unceremoniously. We'll get into the nitty gritty here in a minute, explaining our ratings. But I also agree. I hated it at first. I thought it was off. Something was going on at first, but ultimately won me over again. And so I ended at a rating of an 8 out of 10. Melissa was between a 6 and a 7, and I think that because she felt it was a little rushed, and the fact that the white dragon part was a little disappointing, and she wanted to see more in certain areas. I think she said 6. It was 6 or 7. And so ultimately, I can see it now. I can't wait to tell it. It actually wasn't directed by James Gunn. It was Brad Anderson, a different guy, but still written by James Gunn. So still solid because we really enjoyed it. We were laughing. We were having a great time. It's just because we have been spoiled, like you were saying earlier, Alex, that it's like this one is like, oh, okay, I wish it was just a slightly bit more. Hopefully he's directing. So let's see. He is directing the final episode.
That's a
It's
good sign.
Cow or Never. And we'll have Melissa join us, and we'll have the 4-person setup like we had with Ray on Boba Fett. So for this particular one, I ended up at an 8, and I think she ended up at like a 7. So let's get into the nitty-gritty real quick. So the episode begins. We finally get the backstory to Peacemaker's hurt. He ended up killing his brother. How did he kill his brother, Joe?
During a little ring fight that his little trailer dad set up,
no.
they're betting against their sons, and he accidentally punches them and starts
Fucking kills him, I
convulsing.
guess.
has a seizure and then
Yeah, has a seizure. And that stuff can happen,
He's
you know.
like, you did it. It's like, no, you made me do this. This is your fucking choice. I didn't want to hit my brother. Like, we were
Exactly.
jamming out, fucking listening to records, having a great time. Then you pit us.
And
in
they
the pit.
they're not really even into the white supremacist stuff.
No.
He's like, is that white supremacy? He's like, no,
nah.
fuck white supremacy. He's like, this is rock and roll, you know? And so the kids are just being kids. And these fucking pieces of shit
Yeah, they're doing
are...
what the dad says.
Exactly. And so then we rush back to current times where Mern is under investigation. They're coming after him. They've got his location, and by now all the police officers have been sort of infiltrated by butterflies, and they fucking rush in there, and he's like, "Finish the mission, guys," and he fucking dies. They come in here, they're like, tell us what's going on. And he's like, I'll never. And she just starts, fucking shooting him. I'm like, oh fuck.
I wanted him to have a little better moment on that one.
Yeah, he didn't have a better moment. But he does come out of the mouth because obviously that's not Mern. The little butterfly's Mern. And the motherfucker tries to fly past him. I was like, this is not going to work. He grabs him out of the air. And he's like, you should have joined us. Or Akatuk. And, I recognize this butter. It's like, you should have joined us. And then she squeezes him and kills him.
do you think if you just stayed in there, they just walk away and go?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. One of the things I felt was like a little off, a little unceremonious. Why did you do that?
They can't tell that someone
like,
else is a butterfly?
I understand that the body's dead, so you have to eject from the body, but you can hide or something, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's it? So, but here's the thing. Another thing that me and Melissa was like, because there was like a kind of a deeper element to his character, and maybe it was just not written well. Where I part of me was like, is there something else going on? You know what I mean? Because he hired the other dude. I was like, so is he a good guy? And then when he dies, I'm like, oh, so I guess he was the good guy. And it was a bit more straightforward than I thought.
It was a little weird too, because he's like, "Oh, you killed him,"
okay.
because like the other officer is like, "Well, I can't believe you killed him." It was
Yeah,
kind of
I think
odd.
that has to do with the alien race, the butterfly race, not really liking, for them to kill each other, even if they're on opposite sides. You murdered him. Is that going to be a seed planted where maybe they
A
do a
little
plot line
betrayal.
where
It's like,
she's
I
out
don't
of
like-
control and all the other butterflies
That's what I was
are
kind
like,
of thinking.
yeah, all right. I don't know if I'm going to like that because it's like, dude, y'all are all on board. No, you're taking it
it's
too
like
far.
You've just been killing everyone right now.
But supposedly he's the only dissenter. So that's out of the way. So now everybody's on the same page, I'm pretty sure, because I don't think there were other butterflies. For a moment, I thought the captain, the Black Ops captain police officer
me
was, but
too.
he's not because he was infected by that. He was just a merc. And a funny mark, by the way. I actually like that guy's performance a lot. Stay tuned to the end of the episode. There's a
Yeah.
funny bit here where he's talking about washing blood off your body and so whatever.
It's all
And he's
hips.
making one of the cops
It's
laugh,
hips.
one of the actors laugh. Yeah, so then we miss they chase Peacemaker. The White Dragon finds him because he's wearing the helmet. This is another thing. Slams into him. And they're all in, they're in like Toyota Camrys or whatever in vans. And they get out, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's like, so you make all this badass technology, but yet you don't have like a better way to track him. I mean, you're using your jetpack, then you stop using your jetpack because he could scout a lot easier by being in the air. And his helmet doesn't do anything. Peacemaker's helmet's doing, but he doesn't do anything. I guess he built it for his son, and his son is a different hero than him, so he has his own gadgets. I just thought it was a little bit disappointing in that particular way. We miss a raccoon scratching scene. He mentions that it's like he attaches the helmet to the raccoon.
I didn't mind that because it was kind of funny. He just turns around and is like, "Man, I didn't know that was going to happen." It's like, really? You didn't know that was going to happen?
I know, but this show
I
seems
thought
like the
that
kind of
worked.
show that would show, the raccoon scratching scene. But anyways, that's just a small little thing. Then I think what didn't work for me was Adebayo's crying and excuses for betraying Peacemaker. They're kind of fucking weak and hollow and had me rolling my eyes during her scene.
Yeah.
It's like, and I started mocking her. I'm like, really? It's like, really, Adebayo? You're trying to turn it around on Hardcore. What's her name?
Hardcourt.
Hardcourt.
Right. And I'm like, just shut up. And like, I didn't know what I was getting into. Like, really? You didn't know what you were getting into? You don't know what Amanda Waller does in Black
She
Ops teams and
ran
shit
a
like that?
dog,
Shut the
a
fuck.
dog kennel thing.
I know.
All right.
So she's not knowing what she's getting into. I'm sorry. It's just hard to feel sorry for her at this point, and I don't know if the show's trying to.
You
make
knew
you
the
feel sorry.
consequences, so
Exactly.
you knew exactly what you're doing.
Peacekeeper catches on to the diary pretty quickly at the
for
start.
sure.
It's like a throwaway line. He's like, oh, she was the only one in his trailer, and they found it. So he takes Vigilante to go and kill the cow, and
It's intercepted.
yeah, and then Vigilante blows himself up with a fucking
I
grenade.
love this guy. This guy
to do a
he's just
delay
out
action,
there.
right? But it's not filmed in a way where it's like it's his triumphant moment. It's filmed more in a way where he's just like a fucking idiot.
He
And he
is.
just sort of rolls the grenade and he blows himself up and somebody else up. You like that?
Yes.
I was kind of hoping they would film it in a way where it's like, okay,
That's his
I'll hold
character,
them off.
though, but that's his
I know,
character.
I know.
Yeah.
But sometimes they take it too far. You remember
Same
the
with
dumb
Peacemaker,
moments
yeah.
with the things. But yes, it is his character. It's just his kind of stupidity and carelessness actually ends up saving the day in that particular case, allowing Peacemaker and economics to run off. And then we get, like I said, the pacing. When we go to
The
Judo
quick
Master
jumps.
eating
Flaming
Cheetos
hats.
again, and he just feels like a loose.
He
end
is.
here,
Because
a
it's like,
dead-end
okay, he's gonna do
subplot.
something in this show or this episode.
So what happens with him?
Yeah,
Judo
he's
Man.
just eating Cheetos. Two guys are like, "Oh, you scared me. I thought you were a leprechaun." Then they go in the store, they come back out, and he starts whooping their ass, and he's like mocking them. It's
I mean, it's a funny scene.
He steals
I
their
liked
car.
it, but
I'm
then that's
glad
it.
it's
Steals
there.
their car and takes off. I was like, "That's it."
But maybe it could be somewhere else, or it could have been resolved a little bit sooner.
Yeah,
So
he goes back and fights, and then
yeah, so the whole point was for him to get a car. By the way, his butt is sitting on glass. He's like wiping.
he's
on
got
the
like
glass.
leather. I don't know.
It's a judo butt, is what it is. It's very powerful. But anyway, he takes their car so that he can go and fuck up the people that were strapped him to a couch the whole fucking series. And when he comes in here, Harcourt actually finds, what's this, Mern's dead body, and she's really affected by it. And she had an attachment, and I believe she's a good actress too. And then fucking Judo Master shows up to fucking ruin that. And she's like,
bitches.
no more fucking sucker punches. I was like, this is a great scene because I wish Harcourt would have said something else like, you don't want to fuck with me right now. Because, like, it's not believable that Harcourt can fucking beat Judo Master, but it is believable that she can hang with him for a little bit when she's fucking pissed off that her friend died, right? I wish she would have just like, you don't want to fuck with me right now, but no, she says, and she kind of says it, she says like, no more fucking sucker punches, and so she goes off. They have a cool little action scene there, and she holds her own a little bit, but Judo Master eventually gets her with his judo, like tying up her hands and then just beating her face in, and she starts smiling, and I'm like, does he not hit very hard? But no, it was, she goes, rope-a-dope, bitch, or something like that. And he's like, what? And Adebayo comes up and electrocutes his ass.
him.
So we got the resolution to that now.
That is unfortunately the best fight scene in the entire episode.
Yeah, because
once
now
again,
we go to
he
the
gets
battle. Tell
tied
us
up.
about the battle, Alex, with White Dragon.
Nothing happens. Peacemaker gets his ass kicked, and he's getting because the guy's got a super suit. And then out of nowhere, the hero of the whole show, Vigilante, comes out, and I love him. Stabs him and like breaks his suit, and so his suit doesn't work anymore. And so Peacemaker kicks the shit out of him, and then shoots him in the head.
Yeah, I gotta mention that I was like, why aren't these white supremacists like shooting? What, number one, why does nobody have guns? Are they too fucking poor to have guns? But if you notice in the scene, there are one or two that have rifles, so that was a little.
They shoot at the
they never
eagle?
really shoot. That's the only time they shoot, but there was so many other times that they could have shot. Economics, however, after Vigilante saves Peacemaker from White Dragon, it's Economics that shoots all the guys that are about to shoot Vigilante in the head because he rolls over in front of all the bagged-headed white supremacists. And he manages to get them all. And I'm like, yes, man, I've always wanted to see a scene. It's like, dude, if you have a machine gun and there's like 7 people, you can fucking kill them all. Now, maybe they could have had the assault rifle guy fire back and just miss Economics. But yeah, I totally believe this. But the fact is, his dad has dumb. It was kind of a dumb fight. I wish that fight was a little better. It seems like his dad didn't, really plan this fight out. He's like, I guess it makes sense because he thinks his son's a pussy.
Well, yeah, that too, and he's just blinded by rage. He's like, let's just fucking go get him.
Yeah,
and he brings
I'm
his
trying to
idiot
make excuses
ragtag,
for it.
his ragtag team.
They built up the father as something that I thought was going to be a little bit more, and so he does have a really more powerful suit. And
Why doesn't he have better helmets?
I wanted them to be able to overcome something, like all of them working together to overcome. And ultimately, what happened is he got sucker punched by a knife. He gets stabbed by a knife, and his suit doesn't work anymore.
I didn't hear what Vigilante was saying as he digged
Weak
the knife.
points, because like
Weak points, motherfucker.
Yeah,
or
it's
something
like because during the suit there's like little.
Yeah, and then so his suit stops working. So I mean, it's not awful by any means. It's just like this is something
it's
that's
just
like
wasn't what I expected.
this is like these are the two people I wanted to watch fight the entire time, and then I see it and I go, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Honestly, yeah, it was like a fun treat because you see that suit and you're like, wait a minute, a white supremacist fucking villain. This is cool. Like I want to see him get his ass kicked, and ultimately he does get his ass kicked. I just wish it would have been filmed a little bit better way. Anyways, his father's not dead. He just punches him and he starts laughing and using derogatory terms. He's like, you punch like a girl. And he's like, you're not going to kill me. I'm going to be in your life forever. And because he's got the gun pointed at his head. And as soon as they did that reverse shot, I'm like, oh, he's fucking shoot him. He fucking shot him straight in there. He shoots him there. I'm like, yes! Peacemaker, yes!
He did it.
Men, women, or children, it doesn't matter. I demand peace. But but this is when we were like, damn, John Cena,
It's not the best crying I've ever seen, but for John Cena, this is really good stuff.
Coming from wrestling?
This is the best crying I've seen from a big man. So I was like, all right, and a long way from the Marine. Very nice, John Cena. Anyways.
That one or Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, God.
So Peacemaker with Eagly, we get a scene because he thought Eagly died because fucking White Dragon karate chops Eagly out of the sky.
I feel so sad.
And that raccoon actually fucked his face up a lot. You see a close up here, I'm like, damn, the raccoon did more damage than White Dragon.
He probably needs rabies shot.
So, anyways, but then the eagerly hugs him, and Adebayo sees the hug, and it makes yet another change in her.
Changes her life, and she's like now, and it's like,
oh, baby, I saw an eagle hug a thing.
It's a miracle, all right? You got to believe in miracles.
And it's just weird editing, and then they flash back like this was the culminating moment. He hugged me. No, he didn't. I believe you. And then
this is how you know that the person in the editing room or the director or James Gunn is like, our audience are fucking idiots. You know how it was only a couple episodes ago. We're gonna replay the thing, and they're like reminding. It's like, we get
no,
it, dude.
we
If it's
saw
important,
it.
put it in the rehash at the beginning of the episode, but don't further stop any momentum that you've built by showing me something that we already know.
It doesn't do anything because she already feels bad. She already considers him a friend, but I guess she considers him even more a friend and a cool guy.
Because an eagle hugged
And
him.
then she's like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry." As they're going back
I love
to
this.
kill the
I
cow.
love her response.
I know. He was just like, well, obviously we're not a team anymore. You betrayed me. I can't wait to not see your stupid dumb face again.
I love it. He's just like a big man child.
Well, I think that hurt her more than like if he had said something
Yes.
even more mean. She's just like,
No, because he's like, man, he really is
fuck
mean.
up.
He's like, you can see her face, and he's like, stupid dumb face.
But like I said, it was off. The episode was off at first, but it won me over.
Yeah,
again like
yeah,
this with
for
the
sure.
writing, and it's James Gunn's writing.
Yeah.
Then we get the cow. The cow is actually shown. Really cool design. I like the fucking weirdness of, kind of give that galaxy of Guardians of the Galaxy vibe.
I was
to it.
wondering what they were going to do. I was like, holy shit. It was bigger
milking
than I
this thing.
thought.
So, but again, maybe overall too short of a runtime for such monumental moments. Losing a member of the team, the fight between the father and the son, resolving. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention
The journal.
the
Real quick.
resolving of the journal. I also forgot to mention the nurses and the male nurses, or they commandeer their shit, and they realize that they do have a leader amongst the team. Myrn, we can't do anything without Myrn, but no,
Yes, we
it's
can.
Harcourt. And she gives a rousing speech, and everyone's like, fuck yeah. And then even like the
Let's do
dental
it.
hygienist, or no, it wasn't dental hygienist. It was
Nurses.
The vet.
Vets were like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So where the fuck did you get
Like,
the
you're going
gun?
to die.
Y'all are gonna die. Y'all are staying here. And they're like, yeah, those are cool guys, except for the dude in blue. And I was like, who are they talking about? I was like, Peacemaker wears blue. I guess a vigilante has a little, but that's more like teal.
No, they were telling him.
Should the
'cause
guy in
he
black
was,
is
he
what
was
they should
trying
have
to
said.
kill them.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
the guy in black.
But the most important part was, too, also that the butterflies know that they know the location, so they're going to try to teleport the cow.
Yes, thank
That's
you.
the most important part.
So we
So
realize-
it's in a time crunch now.
Yeah.
So next episode, they're going to have to figure it out.
They drink our water, they breathe our air, but they can't eat our food. And so this is if we can cut off their food source, then they have to leave the planet or they'll die within 2 weeks or
Yeah.
something like that. So we've wrapped it up in a nice way to have one final episode, episode 8. And do you think we can have a satisfying conclusion?
if we got a good
Yes.
runtime, of course.
Good
Good
runtime,
runtime.
and we already
James
have
Gunn.
James Gunn. I think so.
Writing and directing.
I think he
so
gets-
it's set
yeah.
up for a knockout.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But who is the final boss? I mean, White Dragon's
Goff,
resolved.
isn't it?
Goff? No, Goff is in the.
No,
Goff's in
Goff's in
Detective
the-
Oh,
Songs.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
The-
they're pretty strong, so
Yeah, it's just all the
It's
police
gotta
officers
be.
are
So
in
it'll be
charge.
zombies versus
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
team. You don't think they'll whip out like one super alien comes out or something, or another super gorilla? I don't know.
I don't know,
You
maybe
would think
Judo
they're
Master's going to come back and fight them for one scene. And
Then
they
at
get
the
tied
end,
up
when they're all
again.
like celebrating,
They
we
get
did it!
tied up.
Oh,
Yep.
Judo's like, God
That's
damn
his
it."
thing. He fights, gets tied up. Fights, gets tied up.
Then
I
he gets
know.
hit by a car.
It's a little bit. It's excessive.
tied
I
up.
want to know.
I think he's gonna join the team.
Do you
They're
think it's-
keeping him around for a fucking
Yeah.
reason? Is he a butterfly though?
Did his kidney float up and become his new heart? Because he
No,
did
he's not,
got
'cause he's eating.
He's eating Cheetos.
Correct. Remember, he got shot in the heart, and they're like, "How can he
yeah.
survive?" He's like, "No, his kidney will come up and float up into his heart." So I want to know.
Okay, we got to resolve that too. All right, guys, that's it for this episode.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much for watching on episode 7. We'll have a big episode for episode 8 for the final episode and the series as a whole. review. Which are they trying to do in season 2?
I hope
I'm
so.
hearing rumbles of a season 2.
James
I'm
Gunn
down.
wants to continue doing TV shows.
Is it already? I think it's already resolved. And we
It's
might be getting
too
season 2.
successful for them not to do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I'm down
it
to see another
won't. They
one.
won't sequel bait too hard. I need a satisfying
Yeah, do
resolution to
something
this
else.
arc, and then maybe show something else. That'd be fucking crazy if like fucking Batman, Ben Affleck shows up. No,
Say, I heard you
Wonder
call me
Woman.
pussy.
like you telling people, I was giving you the eye, and I wasn't looking at you. Some massive cameo. I don't think it's gonna happen, but who knows? All right, guys, that's it from us. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe show.
Bye, guys.